Under the merciless sun, Israel unfolds as a tableau of parched desolation, where the land thirsts for life and hope. The wind, a mournful dirge, whispers tales of despair across the barren plains. Dust devils dance like specters, haunting the drought-stricken land. In this spiritual and physical drought, the very air seems to crackle with unspoken prayers for salvation. King Ahab sits on his throne, a symbol of stark contrast to his people's plight. Queen Jezebel stands beside him, her eyes reflecting ruthless ambition. The opulence of Ahab's palace clashes with the idols of Baal, symbols of misplaced devotion. The throne room is filled with treasures, a mockery of the suffering endured by the kingdom's subjects. Under the expansive sky of Tishbe, a new life begins. The child receives the name Elijah, an affirmation echoing through the hills. Yahweh is my God. The name itself becomes a beacon, a subtle prophecy against the shadows of apostasy, a declaration of faith, echoing against a darkening land. Elijah strides into Ahab's court, a lone figure confronting royal opulence. His voice echoes with divine authority. As the Lord God of Israel lives, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, except by my word. His pronouncement hangs in the air, a challenge to the king's reign. The court falls silent, stunned by the prophet's declaration. Under the fierce Israeli sun, the earth is cracking, and life is withering away. Rivers transform into desolate trails of dust, marking the path of lost hope. Famine casts a dark shadow, consuming the once rich fields. The heavens obey Elijah's command, refusing to release their life-giving rain. The once fertile land now stretches, barren and cracked under the relentless sun. The land lies desolate, awaiting the return of life-giving rain. Sunlight paints the secluded brook Cherith as Elijah, weathered but resolute, finds solace by the water's edge. Two ravens appear, their shadows dancing across the clearing, harbingers of divine care. The ravens descend, bearing gifts of bread and meat, a testament to faith rewarded. Elijah's sanctuary is complete, a place of refuge and divine provision. The once flowing brook Cherith is now a mere memory, its waters swallowed by the relentless thirst of the parched earth. Elijah stands alone amidst the desolation, the silent witness to a vanished lifeline. The sun beats down upon the cracked earth, a harsh reminder of the scarcity that now defines the land. Despite the desolation surrounding him, Elijah remains steadfast, his trust unwavering. His gaze is fixed on the horizon, searching for the divine guidance that will chart his next course. In this moment of stark solitude, Elijah embodies unwavering faith, ready to embrace the unknown path ahead. Elijah approaches Zarephath, the city gates looming before him like a somber threshold. At the edge of the city, a widow is gathering sticks, her posture reflecting deep sorrow. Her every movement speaks of hardship, each stick a testament to her struggle. Elijah watches her, the weight of her sorrow palpable even from a distance. The despair on her face is a mirror reflecting the harsh realities of Zarephath. He pauses, contemplating the scene, the silence broken only by the rustle of wind. Under the sun's gentle gaze, a humble dwelling radiates quiet strength. The widow moves with slow, deliberate grace as she prepares a final meal. A symphony of scents fills the air, where the aroma of cooking intertwines with the raw scent of earth and wildflowers. Elijah approaches, his unwavering faith etched into his solemn face. The widow glances up, her eyes meeting Elijah's with a mixture of sorrow and resilience. A silent exchange passes between them, a moment of shared humanity amidst impending uncertainty. Weak sunlight illuminates the humble home of the widow, where dust motes dance in the quiet air. Elijah's firm yet gentle voice cuts through the silence. Do not fear. Go and do as you have said, but make me a small cake from it first. The widow's hands tremble over the meager flour, her face a canvas of desperation and a hesitant belief. Hope flickers in the widow's eyes as she obeys. Sunlight pierces through the window, illuminating dust motes in the air. The aroma of freshly baked bread fills the humble home, a comforting promise. The widow kneads dough, her face etched with worry but softened by faith. Her son watches her, his eyes reflecting a quiet understanding. The widow pauses, her hand resting on the dough, a moment of silent prayer. The son smiles faintly at his mother. Dim light barely penetrates the widow's home, where dust motes dance in the silence. The widow's son lies still upon his cot, his small frame radiating an unnatural cold. Grief permeates the room, slowly twisting into a silent accusation that consumes the widow. In the heavy air, unspoken blame hangs a suffocating shroud around her. Elijah, his face a canvas of worry, carefully bears the lifeless boy into his private chamber. With gentle precision, Elijah lays the child upon the bed, exhaustion weighing heavily on his features. 3 times, Elijah stretches himself over the boy, a desperate plea against the silence. His voice, hoarse with emotion, erupts in a fervent cry, a raw appeal echoing through the chamber. Elijah is praying with desperation. The boy lies still, lifeless. Life slowly returns. His body stirs. He gasps, eyes fluttering open to a new dawn. The widow is filled with awe and gratitude. Under the relentless sun, Israel is a desolate expanse, marked by 3 years of unyielding drought. Cracked earth stretches to the horizon, a testament to the long-endured drought. The air shimmers with heat, the horizon blurred in the distance. Whispers of wind carry dust across the barren landscape, painting a scene of utter desolation. The barren landscape evokes a sense of loss. Under the relentless Sumerian sun, the ancient city unfolds, a landscape ripe with untold stories and simmering tensions. Elijah emerges, a figure of weathered strength, his steps echoing with resolve as he enters the city. The air crackles with anticipation, a prelude to a confrontation that could reshape destinies. His determined steps carry him forward, each footfall measured and purposeful. In the distance, Ahab's palace looms a defiant silhouette against the heavens, a symbol of earthly power challenging divine will. On Mount Carmel, a sea of faces turns towards the horizon, expectant and hopeful. The Mediterranean Sea glitters under the sun, a vast, shimmering expanse of blue. Anticipation hangs heavy in the air as the crowd awaits a sign. Every eye is fixed on the horizon, searching for a glimpse of hope. The sun beats down, casting long shadows across the expectant faces. A collective breath is held as the moment of truth approaches. Upon Mount Carmel, a multitude of priests writhe in feverish devotion. Their chants rise, a desperate plea lost in the vast expanse. The frenzy escalates as knives flash, their self-inflicted wounds a gruesome offering. Blood flows, a macabre testament to their unwavering faith. Their cries echo, unanswered by the indifferent heavens above. The sky remains silent, a cold observer to their passionate display. Upon the desolate peak of Mount Carmel, Elijah stands alone, a solitary figure against the vast expanse. With weathered hands, he begins to rebuild the ancient altar, carefully placing each stone. One by one, the rough stones rise, a defiant monument against the smooth, worn mountain. The altar takes shape, a symbol of unwavering faith amid the surrounding desolation. Alone against the multitude, Elijah's figure embodies resilience, challenging the very landscape. On Mount Carmel, a solitary figure meticulously constructs a pyre, arranging each piece of wood with deliberate precision. With solemn reverence, he places the bullock sacrifice atop the pyre, a pivotal moment in his sacred ritual. With a commanding gesture, he orders the altar drenched, challenging the heavens with his unwavering faith. Water cascades over the altar, transforming the ground into a shimmering moat that mirrors the sun's radiant defiance. Against the stark, arid landscape of Mount Carmel, Elijah stands firm, his weathered face a testament to unwavering resolve. A profound hush descends upon the multitude, every eye magnetized by Elijah's commanding presence. Elijah's voice cuts through the silence, a fervent plea echoing across the land. Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, Let it be known this day that you are God in Israel, and I am your servant. His voice rises with impassioned conviction. Hear me, O Lord. Hear me, that this people may know that you are the Lord God. A cataclysmic fire descends from the sky, an unstoppable force of destruction. The blinding torrent engulfs everything. The offering, the wood, the very stones. Even the water cannot withstand the divine inferno, vanishing in a burst of steam. The crowd stands frozen, their faces masks of awe and terror as they witness the impossible. Silence descends, heavier than any storm, broken only by the crackling of the unearthly flames. The mountain itself seems to hold its breath, humbled by the raw power on display. On Mount Carmel, a sea of faces reflects awe and reverence as a multitude gathers. Moved by a powerful, unseen force, they begin to fall, their bodies surrendering to the rocky ground. In unison, they prostrate themselves, their faces pressed against the earth in humble devotion. A chorus erupts from the devoted. The Lord, He is God. On Mount Carmel, Elijah's face glows, radiating divine power. His command echoes through the air, a decree of divine justice. A moment of stark reckoning unfolds as the false prophets face their fate. Justice descends, swift and absolute. The mountain witnesses the fulfillment of divine will. The scene concludes with a profound declaration of righteousness. The skies open, releasing a torrential downpour upon the arid landscape of Israel. Each drop of rain is a promise, a whisper of renewal in the drought-stricken land. The parched earth eagerly drinks in the life-giving water, a thirsty embrace of salvation. Hope blooms anew as the land revives, a testament to nature's enduring resilience. Elijah races with unmatched speed, his face a mask of resolve. Ahab's chariot thunders down the road, the horses straining to keep pace. Elijah, a figure of divine purpose, effortlessly outstrips the steeds. The gap widens between the mortal conveyance and the divinely driven prophet. Towards Jezreel, the road stretches as Elijah continues his relentless pace. The horses labor, yet Elijah's supernatural speed carries him onward. Inside Ahab's palace, the atmosphere is charged as Ahab recounts the events of Mount Carmel to Jezebel. Jezebel listens, her expression hardening with each word. The tale ignites a storm of fury within Jezebel, her eyes flashing with anger. Jezebel's fury fills the palace, a palpable wave of wrath. In the resplendent hall of Ahab's palace, Jezebel stands, her presence commanding. Light floods in, illuminating every corner, yet her eyes burn with vengeful determination. Her fury intensifies, a storm of retribution brewing within. She vows, "So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I do not make your life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time." The air thickens with the weight of her threat, each word a poisoned dart. The palace seems to hold its breath, awaiting the dawn of her promised vengeance. Elijah's heart races with terror as fear tightens its grip. Driven by primal instinct, Elijah plunges headlong into the untamed wilderness, a desperate escape from unseen horrors. He sprints through the dense forest, each footstep echoing his mounting desperation. The wilderness becomes both sanctuary and torment as Elijah seeks refuge. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig amplifies his dread, turning the refuge into a theater of his deepest anxieties. Under the lonely broom tree, Elijah sits, a figure of utter dejection and weariness. The relentless sun beats down, mirroring the inner torment consuming Elijah. His voice cracking with despair, Elijah cries out, "It is enough. Now, Lord, take my life, for I am no better than my fathers." Surrounded by the vast, unforgiving landscape, Elijah awaits his fate with a heavy heart. Under the vast, starlit expanse, a celestial being materializes, radiating divine light. He offers sustenance bread baked on hot stones and pure water, a beacon of hope in the darkest night. The bread and water shimmer, imbued with divine energy, promising renewal and strength. His ethereal presence offers solace and strength, a divine intervention against despair. The offering of bread and water symbolizes a promise of hope, a divine gift in his most desperate hour. Elijah, invigorated, begins his arduous trek across the untamed wilderness. Days melt into nights as Elijah presses onward, his resolve unwavering. Under the relentless sun and the silent stars, he remains steadfast, a solitary figure against the vast landscape. 40 days and nights pass, each step a testament to his enduring spirit. Finally, Mount Horeb emerges from the horizon, the mountain of God. His destination reached, Elijah ascends Mount Horeb, a solitary figure against the vast, rugged landscape. The mountain looms, a silent sentinel, as Elijah seeks refuge within its ancient embrace. He finds a cave, a dark sanctuary amidst the overwhelming expanse, a place for quiet anticipation. Within the cave's depths, Elijah waits, his presence a stark contrast to the imposing silence of the mountain. The mountain stands unwavering, as Elijah remains in quiet expectation. A furious wind howls across Mount Horeb, threatening to tear the mountain apart. The ground convulses violently as a shattering earthquake rips through the land. A consuming fire engulfs the landscape, leaving only ashes in its wake. But God is not revealed in the wind, earthquake, or fire. Under the relentless sun on Mount Horeb, a profound silence blankets the rugged landscape. A cool, ethereal breeze stirs, offering a fleeting moment of respite amidst the harsh terrain. A barely audible whisper weaves through the stillness, washing over Elijah like a soothing balm. His eyes widen, a flicker of hope igniting within them, a response to the divine. The gentle whisper renews Elijah's spirit, revealing the faithful remnant of 7,000 who have not bowed to Baal. Upon Mount Horeb, Elijah stands alone, cloaked against the raw, untamed wind. The sun scorches the earth as Elijah, resolute, turns his gaze toward the heavens. A divine voice echoes through the desolate expanse, commanding, "Go, return on your way to the wilderness of Damascus. And when you arrive, anoint Hazael as king over Syria, and Jehu the son of Nimshi you shall anoint as king over Israel, and Elisha the son of Shaphat from Abel-Meholah you shall anoint to be prophet in your place." Elijah's silhouette remains steadfast against the sun's glare, accepting his formidable destiny. Under the expansive sky, Elijah traverses the sun-drenched field, a solitary figure against the golden expanse. In the distance, Elisha drives 12 yoke of oxen across the field, the animals straining with each step. Elijah approaches, his shadow falling upon Elisha as he casts his mantle, a silent decree. The heavy fabric settles upon Elisha's shoulders, a tangible symbol of destiny. In the vast field, Elisha abandons his plowing to chase after Elijah, his determination echoing through the open space. Elisha calls out, his voice filled with longing and respect. "I ask to kiss my father and mother goodbye." Elijah pauses, his gaze softening as he grants Elisha's heartfelt request. Elijah responds simply, "Granted." In the vast field, Elisha raises his axe high, the sun reflecting off the polished blade. The axe falls, oxen collapse, and Elisha begins dismantling the plowing equipment. With methodical resolve, Elisha piles wood high, preparing a pyre that promises a transformative blaze. Flames erupt, casting an eerie dance of shadows as the smell of roasting meat wafts through the air. Elisha shares the cooked oxen with the people, the communal meal a solemn offering. With a resolute nod, Elisha turns, walking behind Elijah, his path now irrevocably altered. Across the sweeping landscape, Elijah and Elisha begin their journey, their figures dwarfed by the vastness of the open skies and rolling hills. From village to village, their presence heralds service and prophecy, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of those they encounter. The sun stretches long shadows behind them. As they walk forward, their path winding through fields and forests, their journey continues, each step a testament to their unwavering commitment and the unfolding destiny that awaits them. In Bethel, a group of young prophets gathers, their faces reflecting both reverence and a shared sense of dread. They move toward Elijah and Elisha, their voices hushed, burdened by the weight of a looming prophecy. Their words carry the weight of divine knowledge as they question Elisha's awareness. Elisha, do you know that the Lord will take your master away from you today? The air thickens with unspoken anticipation as the young prophets await Elisha's reaction. Elijah and Elisha stand firm, absorbing the gravity of the young prophet's solemn announcement. In Jericho, youthful prophets gather, their grave warnings reverberating across the land. Elijah signals Elisha, urging him to stay behind amidst the unfolding events. Elisha remains steadfast, his resolve a beacon as he refuses to leave Elijah's side. A silent vow binds them as Elisha's loyalty shines, defying separation. The air crackles with unspoken promises as their bond deepens against the backdrop of Jericho. Elisha's determination echoes, a firm refusal to part from his mentor's journey. At the edge of the Jordan River, Elijah and Elisha halt, their figures silhouetted against the shimmering water. Elijah raises his mantle with divine purpose. With a forceful strike, the waters yield, revealing a miraculous path. Together, they cross the divide, walking on dry land amidst the parted river. Under the relentless sun, Elijah and Elisha stand by the Jordan River, a silent farewell hanging heavy in the air. Elijah turns to Elisha, his voice carrying the weight of his impending departure. Tell me, Elisha, what can I do for you before I am taken from you? Elisha's eyes reflect unwavering devotion. Please let a double portion of your spirit be upon me. The air crackles with unspoken power as the river flows on, indifferent to the sacred exchange. Beneath the radiant sun, the Jordan River flows, its waters shimmering with divine promise. Elijah, a weathered prophet, stands tall beside Elisha, his gaze piercing the heavens. Elisha, his devoted follower, stands close by, his eyes reflecting unwavering faith. A palpable tension fills the air as Elijah prepares to impart his final prophecy. Elijah's voice resonates with power, carrying the weight of his divine mission. Your request is difficult, Elisha, he continues. But if you see me when I am taken, it will be granted. From the heavens, a chariot of fire descends, horses ablaze, pulling it down. Elijah is lifted, caught in a whirlwind of dust and fire. The fiery chariot accelerates as Elijah ascends, disappearing into the vortex. The whirlwind intensifies, obscuring the scene in a furious dance of fire and dust. A final burst of light as Elijah vanishes completely. Silence descends once more upon the Jordan River. Elisha stands at the banks of the Jordan, his gaze fixed upward as a profound event unfolds above. A wave of awe washes over Elisha as he witnesses his mentor's divine ascent. Grief etches itself onto Elisha's face, a stark contrast to the miraculous sight above. Tears stream down Elisha's face as he cries out in anguish, "My father, the chariot of Israel and its horsemen!" The echo of Elisha's desperate cry lingers in the air, a lament for the mentor now lost to the heavens. He retrieves the mantle, a symbol of inherited spirit, from the ground. With the mantle now secured, he turns back toward the flowing Jordan River. He steps forward, ready to face his destiny with newfound resolve. The flowing waters of the Jordan River reflect his determined gaze. Under the radiant sun, Elisha lifts Elijah's mantle, the rough fabric catching the light. With a determined strike, he brings the mantle down upon the waters of the Jordan. The river trembles as the water begins to part. A wide, dry path emerges, a testament to the miraculous power now wielded by Elisha. The parted waters stand as undeniable proof. The spirit of Elijah now resides within Elisha. From Jericho emerge the prophets, their expressions a mix of wonder and understanding, their eyes fixed on Elisha, sensing the profound legacy he now carries. A palpable weight of Elijah's spirit envelops Elisha, visible in his very stance. The prophets, Humbled, acknowledge the transfer of power, marking a new era. Under the scorching sun, the ancient city of Jericho awaits a miracle. Elisha, a figure of purpose, approaches the city well, drawing the hopeful eyes of the townsfolk. Anticipation fills the air as Elisha prepares to purify the contaminated water supply, a sign of hope. The townsfolk watch, their faces etched with hope and expectation. Along a sun-baked path near Bethel, Elisha walks, oblivious to the impending taunts that will soon shatter the peace. A chorus of mocking laughter erupts as a group of young men spots Elisha, their jeers echoing through the serene landscape. Elisha halts abruptly, his face hardening with a sudden, intense anger as he turns to confront his tormentors. With a voice amplified by divine power, Elisha unleashes a curse, his words hanging heavy in the air. From the dark depths of the nearby woods, two bears emerge, their eyes gleaming with an eerie, predatory light. The tranquility of the scene is shattered as the bears charge with terrifying speed towards the group of young men. Under the fierce Sumerian sun, dust devils swirl across the barren land. King Jehoram's face reflects the heavy burden of his crown and the arid despair of Samaria. The weight of leadership bears down on King Jehoram as he awaits Elisha's arrival. King Jehoram anticipates the arrival of Elisha. Samaria awaits Elisha. Under the relentless desert sun, the Israelite army stands, their faces etched with desperation. Elisha steps forward, a beacon of hope amidst despair. With unwavering faith, Elisha raises his hands to the heavens. Water bursts forth, a divine response to their plight, quenching their desperate thirst. Elisha proclaims, his voice echoing with certainty, victory over Moab. Beneath the golden sun, dust dances over Shunem as Elisha journeys toward a humble dwelling. A Shunammite woman greets him with a warm smile, inviting him into her home. Elisha offers, "Peace be with this house, and with you, holy man. Please, come in, rest and eat with us," she replies, her voice filled with kindness. Elisha nods. "Your generosity is a blessing. I thank you." As Elisha sits at her table, he looks up and proclaims, "For your kindness, the Lord will bless you. Within a year, you will hold a son in your arms." Sunlight bathes the room, marking the fulfillment of ancient prophecy. The Shunammite woman gently cradles her newborn son. Her face radiates with maternal love, a silent testament to faith rewarded. In her arms, the child sleeps peacefully, unaware of the miracle of his birth. In the vast field, the young boy suddenly crumples to the ground, his small hands grasping his head in agony. The Shunammite woman races towards her son, her face contorted with rising panic and fear. She cradles him tightly, her hope fading as she realizes the horrifying truth. He is gone. Driven by a mother's unwavering resolve, she sets off on a desperate quest to find Elisha. In the quiet chamber, Elisha kneels, his face a mask of intense prayer. A soft light bathes the room as Elisha's hands hover with purpose over the still form of the boy. Color begins to seep back into the boy's cheeks, a subtle sign of returning life. A faint breath escapes the boy's lips, a whisper of hope in the silent chamber. The boy stirs, a slight movement that shatters the stillness. His eyes flutter open, filled with newfound life as he gazes at the world anew. The land around Gilgal lies parched and barren, a testament to the harsh famine gripping the region. Amidst the desolation, Elisha, a prophet of considerable presence, oversees a gathering of weary prophets. Visible hunger etches lines of suffering on their faces, their eyes reflecting a desperate hope. Elisha gestures towards a meager collection of food, a humble offering against the overwhelming famine. At the leprosy colony, hope and desperation converge on Naaman's face as he nears the gates. He travels far, seeking a cure from the prophet Elisha. Each step brings him closer to the unknown, where faith and healing intertwine. The air is thick with anticipation as Naaman prepares to seek the prophet's help. Elisha stands tall on the banks of the Jordan River, his presence commanding. The Jordan River flows steadily, a mirror reflecting the bright, judging sunlight. With calm authority, Elisha commands, "Wash in the Jordan River 7 times, and you will be healed." Naaman stands before Elisha, head bowed in anticipation. The river's flow a constant. The river awaits, its waters promising healing and renewal under the radiant sun. Naaman's face reveals his inner conflict as he halts at the riverbank, his eyes reflecting doubt. With a heavy heart, Naaman begins to wade into the muddy waters of the Jordan River, each step a testament to his struggle. Submerged once, twice, 3 times, Naaman continues the ritual, the river embracing him with each plunge. 4, 5, 6 times he disappears beneath the surface, hope flickering with each descent. Emerging for the 7th time, a miracle unfolds before the eyes. The river's touch transforming his skin. His skin, once marred, now glows, smooth and pink like that of a child, a testament to miraculous renewal. Under the scorching sun, Gehazi's eyes gleam with avarice as he nears Naaman's figure. His hand stretches out, poised to receive, as greed consumes him. Suddenly, a ghastly pallor begins to spread across Gehazi's fingertips. The unnatural hue races up his arms, a chilling omen of divine retribution. A cry of horror escapes Gehazi's lips as he comprehends the divine judgment. In a vast field, Elisha lifts his hands towards the expansive sky, a gesture of faith and anticipation. A dramatic shift occurs as the axe head inexplicably detaches from its wooden handle. Freed from earthly constraints, the axe head floats suspended in the air, defying gravity. A powerful display unfolds as the axe head remains suspended, challenging the natural order. In the quiet field, this defying spectacle underscores the divine power at play. This defy spectacle underscores the divine power at play. Under the scorching sun, Dothan braces as the king of Syria's armored army encircles it, a menacing glint reflecting off their shields. Amidst the looming threat, Elisha kneels in quiet prayer, a beacon of unwavering faith against the tide of war. A profound hush falls over the battlefield, as if the very air holds its breath in anticipation. Suddenly, a divine light bathes the Syrian soldiers, an otherworldly radiance disrupting their advance. The Syrian soldiers stumble, their eyes wide with confusion and mounting fear, their vision stolen by the blinding light. Blind and disoriented, the once imposing army is rendered helpless, their advance thwarted by divine intervention. Under the harsh Sumerian sun, Elisha guides the blind Syrian army toward the city gates. The blind Syrian soldiers shuffle forward, their expressions lost, their trust absolute. Dust rises with each step, a silent testament to the army's vulnerability and Elisha's power. The city of Samaria looms ahead, unaware of the approaching spectacle. Elisha's face is impassive as he leads the blind army closer to their unwitting destination. The blind army, a mass of unknowing soldiers, continues its march into Samaria. In the heart of Samaria, Elisha, with eyes shut in prayer, seeks divine intervention. A wave of astonishment sweeps through the Syrian army as their sight is miraculously restored. Disoriented yet seeing, the soldiers grapple with the sudden return of light. Elisha gestures towards a lavish feast, an invitation to nourishment and perhaps understanding. Hesitant yet hungry, the Syrian soldiers cautiously approach the offered food. With their hunger sated, Elisha directs the Syrians homeward, their bellies full and their minds pondering. Samaria stands defiant, a city besieged by the relentless Syrian army. The siege tightens, a grim shadow falling over the once vibrant city. Famine's cruel hand tightens its grip as hunger claws at the city's inhabitants. Empty markets and desolate streets echo the despair of Samaria. Hope dwindles as the siege persists, each day a new trial for the besieged. A silent prayer hangs in the air, a plea for salvation amidst the encroaching doom. Under the relentless Sumerian sun, dust devils dance a haunting ballet across the barren earth. Elisha stands as a solitary figure against the desolate horizon, his piercing eyes reflecting the weight of prophecy. A small gathering of weary souls surrounds him, their faces etched with desperation under the scorching sun. Elisha's voice cuts through the silence, a beacon of hope amidst despair. "Hear me," he proclaims a miraculous reversal. "By this time tomorrow, a seah of fine flour will sell for a shekel, and 2 seahs of barley for a shekel in the market of Samaria." The weary people listen with a mixture of disbelief and yearning, their hopes flickering like embers in the wind. 4 figures, marked by suffering, emerge onto the desolate plains of Samaria. They halt at the edge of an eerie silence. The Syrian camp, a ghost of its former strength. A deathly quiet blankets the scene, the air heavy with unspoken dread. Empty tents stand as silent witnesses, cooking fires long extinguished, a feast abandoned to the elements. They venture deeper, their tattered garments whispering tales of hardship and hope. The scene speaks of sudden departure, an army vanished without a trace, leaving behind only emptiness and unanswered questions. Samaria basks in the warm sunlight, its streets now echoing with relief, joy. The prophecy of Elisha comes to fruition, bathing the city in a sense of jubilation and collective thankfulness. Smiles light up faces, reflecting the shared gratitude that permeates every corner of Samaria. The air vibrates with a palpable sense of hope as Samaria embraces its newfound peace. Under the fierce sun, Damascus emerges, its structures shimmering like a mirage. Elisha's journey culminates at the gates of Damascus, where the heat intensifies. King Ben-Hadad arrives with his royal entourage to meet Elisha. The entourage moves closer. The figures of King Ben-Hadad and his men are stark against the shimmering backdrop. Under the fierce Syrian sun, Elisha, a prophet hardened by time, faces Hazael, the shimmering heat underscoring the weight of destiny. The bustling city of Damascus sprawls behind them, a stark contrast to the somber prophecy about to unfold. Elisha's gaze pierces through Hazael, foretelling a future cloaked in darkness and suffering. His voice, echoing with divine weight, Elisha proclaims, "You will become king of Syria, Hazael." The air thickens with dread as he continues, "And you will inflict great suffering on Israel." In the expansive landscape of Israel, Elisha succumbs to illness, his frail body weakened by time. Mourners gather, their faces etched with sorrow as they prepare Elisha for his final rest. Unbeknownst to them, Elisha's bones possess a sacred power, a dormant force waiting to defy death itself. Far off, a group of men hastily buries a deceased man, their movements frantic and desperate. In a twist of fate, the dead man's body collides with Elisha's bones, triggering a miraculous resurrection that defies the natural order. Under the scorching sun, a desolate landscape witnesses a somber procession. A group of men hastily carries a lifeless body towards a tomb, their faces grim. With heavy hearts, they heave the corpse into the cold, dark enclosure. Suddenly, a violent convulsion shakes the stillness, disrupting the silence of death. In a miraculous resurrection, the body sits up, alive and reborn,